Marshall Bowen, a native of Austin, Texas, is a member of the fourth generation of the Shields heirs family, which has been ranching in Central and West Texas for over 70 years with a focus on land conservation. Marshall serves as a board member of the Shield Heirs Foundation, a family foundation with an emphasis on the environment, health and human services, and education and the arts. In addition to his involvement with his family ranching and philanthropic enterprises, Marshall has worked as a strategic, political, and government affairs consultant to corporations, nonprofits, as well as political and public affairs campaigns. Marshall also served as a legislative director for a member of the Texas House of Representatives during the 84th Texas legislative session. Marshall and his wife Madison currently reside in San Antonio, Texas, where Marshall is pursuing a JD and an MA in theology at St. Mary's University. Marshall?
Well, it's a treat to be with you all today, and especially to follow Margaret, who we've had such a joy working with as our families progress through this generational transition process. So what I'd like to do today is give you a little bit of background on our family ranch, the Shield Ranch, and then share a little bit about our process of transitioning from G3 or G2 and G3 to Generation 4. We're really right in the middle of that right now, so it's fun to share with you all kind of how we're progressing through that. So our family's ranch, the Shield Ranch, was purchased in 1938 by my great-grandfather, Fred Shield, and his wife, Vera Shield. And it's located in West Travis County, probably about 25 minutes from here. And then in 1945, they purchased another property in Real County, near a little town called Campwood. So we refer to that ranch as Campwood. And then in 1950, they purchased a ranch in the Davis Mountains in Jeff Davis County. And we call that ranch Cherry Canyon. And so today, our family operates those three properties with a large focus on land conservation and wildlife management, and the protection of endangered species. Historically, these ranches started out as cattle ranches to some degree and recreational hunting ranches. And over the years, through the leadership of my mom, who's sitting in the back, you can wave, Mom. If you want some real-life generational transition, we can talk after. And so from her leadership and my uncle, her brother's leadership, we've really worked to use these ranches as a tool for conservation. I think one of the most important things to understand about the Shield Ranch and our family is a shared commitment to being a good steward of our resources and to ensuring that these properties are available for our family to enjoy, but also for the public to enjoy and to contribute to a positive atmosphere for wildlife and for our environment. And so today, at the Austin Ranch here just west of town, 95% of the ranch is under conservation easements held by the Nature Conservancy in the city of Austin. And that was really engineered by my grandparents and my mom and my uncle in 1999 and 2000. And really was an incredible move to show our family's commitment to land conservation and how much we value that as a family. At our ranch in Camp Wood, we protect the golden cheek warbler and black-capped vireo through a Nature Conservancy project there. And then in West Texas, we're also engaged in wildlife management and habitat management there as well. We also operate a hunting business that I really love to get to be involved in, and we do that at all three ranches, but again with a focus on wildlife management. So recently we started looking to the future and to my generation. I'm the oldest of four from my mom. Then I have two cousins that are both older than me. So there's 6 of us total that'll be working through this transition over the next several years. And it's been a really challenging process, but also one of the most rewarding processes of my life, and I think of my siblings and my cousins. And I think it's at the root of all of this, as Margaret kind of mentioned, is being honest about what it is that we want in the ranches long term. I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind, is to understanding what it is that each member of the previous generations and of the next generations want to see from the ranches going forward. And something we've learned is there are a lot of diverse desires in the ranches. So part of this process was going through sharing about what it is we love about the ranch and what it is that we want to see from the ranch long term. And we saw a lot of different things come out of that process. But the really cool thing was we found a lot of common ground areas, things that we love despite our diverse backgrounds and our diverse interests, things that really drive us to want to work together as a cohesive unit to press through those challenging parts and emerge with a shared commitment to seeing these maintained in our family with the mission that we've talked about. So I kind of just want to leave you with kind of 3 closing thoughts as a young person going through this process that I think would be helpful if your family was thinking about going through this. The first would be understanding your place and your role and where the process is. I think as young people, as millennials, we can get kind of ahead of the game and start thinking about, well, where are we headed with all of this, and what do we want to see out of it? But I think it's really important to respect the work that those generations have done before us and their needs, and understand that it's a slow process, but can be a really rewarding process if you view it that way. Secondly, I would recommend, and what I've learned, is to be honest about what it is you'd like to get out of your involvement in the ranches long term. Our family's operated largely off of a staff-operated model where we have staff that run the ranches, and those of us kind of, in my generation at least, have pursued other things outside of employment with the ranch. My mom and my uncle both worked for the ranch, but in our generation, we're kind of doing different things at this point at least. So be honest about what it is you'd like to get out of the ranch and what you're hoping to see from land ownership. And I think the third thing is to be flexible and willing to make compromise with those in your family to find common ground. I think finding those areas where you can really come together in a shared love and desire for the ranch is so much more rewarding than just kind of having exactly what you want to have out of a piece of property. And that guiding principle only becomes more true as generations multiply. So those would kind of be my 3 final thoughts as we are right in the middle of moving through this process. And it's a real treat to get to be here today, and thank you, Jenny, for having me.